Katie on the phone. Hey, Cordell, I'm getting ready to go live. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on speaker, and I'm gonna put you up there. When we take it right now. So, how are you?
Is she, I get back on her name, will she answer?
Yeah.
Bring this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morton,
Here.
Mr. Fowler,
Here.
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Cordell,
Here.
Mayor Black.
Present. Let's bow, friends, please. Dear God, our Father in heaven, once again, we do thank you for the opportunity to conduct business for the town of Ranlo. Thank you for everyone who's here tonight. We do pray, God, that you would give us inspiration to do the right thing and conduct the business of town in a manner that would honor and bring glory to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Adoption of the agenda. We have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. A motion, a second. All in favor? By saying yea. I'll 100%. Okay. Comments from attendees? Anybody sign up, Tom?
We've had a lot of people call in reference to the issue. I don't know if anyone here is wishing to address the board or not.
Anyone like to take a stand and make a comment? 2 minutes.
I would like to. Hey, Commissioner speaking. If you know me, Jessica Haley, now reside at 6008 Ballast Drive in Charlotte. Have a vested interest in this town, and we've seen a lot of changes in the last few years. Unfortunately, the more things change, the more they stay the same sometimes, and over the years, everybody knows Ranlo goes through good times and bad times. However, I feel like we've made so much progress in the things that are positive for the town, things that are moving forward. The involvement of citizens is paramount, that you're listening to the citizens and taking their opinions into account is huge. The growth the town has experienced is going to continue to happen. And if you look backwards at what we've done and go back to those things, it is not going to help. I really urge you to look to the future, continue to look to the future, to look at people who are involved in the town currently, who are participating, who are speaking up, and I apologize, I wasn't prepared for this tonight, and are just looking at the future and where we go, and remembering that the best part about Ranlo is the small town feel, but also accepting the fact that we are growing, and these people participating in the town is the number one thing you could ask for. Citizens weren't invited to do that several years ago, and it didn't feel like a town. Being able to be involved in it really makes a difference to the people. So I just urge you to think of those things tonight while we deal with some more tough issues. That's for this town. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. Anybody else want to speak? Okay. Next item would be approval of the June Board of Commissioners monthly meeting minutes.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. You have two sets of minutes before you tonight, the regular monthly meetings and then the closed session meeting minutes from June. So I would ask for two separate motions on those.
Okay,
I make a motion to set the June minutes.
Second.
all in favor? Yay?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. What about the closed session?
I'll make a motion to set the closed session minutes.
Have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so carried. Next item on the agenda. New business, consideration of Commissioner Trevor Hayes' resignation. We have a motion. I make a motion.
I'll second that
Have a
motion.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Next item on the agenda, update on our health insurance for the governing body.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. During the public hearing for the fiscal year 23 budget, the board determined that they would like to see governing board members who participate in our health care plan reimburse the town the premium of that plan. Salaries were adjusted in order to accommodate for that requirement. Since then, I've been working with Contemporary Benefits, our broker that provides services for the town's employees' health care plan. They have advised numerous things. First, that the town's plan has already been renewed. We are in the new renewal period. Two, in order for us to continue under our plan, if we make revisions, we'll have to resubmit to Blue Cross Blue Shield to evaluate the plan with different tiered rates for different employees. She also has advised that any type of reimbursement would need to go through payroll deduction and not have elected officials writing reimbursement checks to the town for benefits that have been negotiated for on behalf of the town. And lastly, if we do make any changes in order to satisfy due process requirements under the plan, we would need to do anywhere from 60 to 90 days notice. This was not something that we had foreseen at the June meeting. We went through that discussion during the public hearing. The board did formally vote to require governing board members to pay that premium. But at this time, Contemporary Benefits has requested if we make any changes such as that, that it would be in our best interest to wait until a new policy is being negotiated in the spring of 23. But at this time, it appears as though in order to ensure that we stay compliant under the current terms of our plan, that we need to address the matter and come up with a different solution as opposed to having elected officials writing checks to the town to reimburse for the health insurance premium.
Okay, thank you very much for that information. Next item on the agenda,
We gotta come up with a plan. Yeah.
we need to come up with a plan here.
We either need to ask Blue Cross Blue Shield to reevaluate our current plan, which could alter our current premium that we've negotiated. We can revoke the vote to allow governing board members to continue on the plan as is. We can adjust the pay as so to include a choice of either you have a salary or a premium and payroll deducted, or I would defer to any type of suggestions or ideas that the board may have. But simply requiring health insurance premiums to be reimbursed was not advisable based on the recommendation I got from Contemporary Benefits.
And if we do readjust the plan, it can make the prices go up for everybody, right?
It's a possibility when we resubmit for reevaluation from Blue Cross, if we're putting it, because currently everyone's categorized as just an employee. We don't have different like seasonal employees, governing board designations for employees. It's just employee. Our plan was quoted and based on the number of employees that we had that was submitted in May, June for the plan. So this would have to be reevaluated, and one of numerous things could happen. They could include an elected official rate, which may be more, may or may not. It's impossible to know without going back to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Or there could be no change, or there could be an adjustment in regards to an increase. It's impossible to say without going back to underwriting and having them reevaluate the plan.
So we need to undo the vote, as your suggestion, and look at it again in the spring, is that right?
That is what Contemporary Benefits has advised.
And we have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All 100%. All right. All right, next item is town manager's report.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Just a few things for the board and the public tonight. August 2nd is coming up. The town police department will be having a national night out. We're very excited about the event. The police department's put in a lot of hard work. We've got a helicopter landing. We have a hot dog giveaway that we're going to have, so we certainly encourage everyone to come out on the evening of August 2nd. We're also engaging in a back-to-school drive for school supplies. The police department is taking up school supplies that we'll be giving out over the next few weeks, next month. So if you have any donations, I'm sure Chief Lunsford will be fine with those being dropped off at the police department. I want to thank everyone, the public, the board that came out on Saturday night for the fireworks and the hot dog show. We had an incredible crowd out there. There were people everywhere here in Town Hall parking lot, the Mills parking lot. Certainly we're glad that we were able to do the event this year, and thanks to everyone that made that a huge success. Also, I'm very excited that yesterday we were tentatively awarded 2 asset inventory assessment grants. If the board will recall, when I first arrived in the spring of 2020, we immediately applied for one of those grants. That is $150,000 for wastewater and $150,000 for water assessment. What these grants will do will provide funding to be able to evaluate all of our lines inch by inch, identify mystery lines, identify lines that may be tied into other lines that we're not aware of, and that is a gateway to numerous funding opportunities from across the state, regionally, and nationally. We'll be very competitive. And we were turned down initially for that grant. We had issues, of course, with some of our audits and financial statements. We reapplied, and again, we were denied. So this was the third time, and I'm very excited. This is the first time that we have been successful in a competitive grant process. Of course, we were very fortunate to get the direct allocations from Raleigh, from Washington, some of the earmarked money for the ARPA funding, but this is the first time that we have been successful in securing a competitive grant. So I'm very, very pleased to report that we will be getting that $300,000, which was going to lead to many great things. And finally, I did want to commend the police department. They did a great job today with a drug bust. They were able to secure, 25, 30 pounds of marijuana that was taken off the street. So great job to them. That is all that I have in regards to a formal report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much, Don. Any comments from the Board of Commissioners?
Yes, I'd like to ask the board to let me and Jonathan form a recreation committee if it's all right with the board.
We have a consensus for the board. We're waiting town manager to form a recreation committee. This committee will be doing what?
Doing events and stuff, and upcoming Milltown nights and stuff like that, festival.
It's going to be made out of volunteers from the town.
Yes.
I know last month we discussed August 20th for the next Milltown night. Is that still agreeable with the board? I know there had been some back and forth on that. Katie said that. Please. So that will be August 20th. Yeah, before we conclude comments from the board, I would ask that you all review the statement that I have drafted in regards to Commissioner Hayes' resignation. I do have a statement prepared that denounces the actions of former Commissioner Hayes and indicates that they were of a personal capacity and not in his professional capacity as a commissioner for the town of Ranlo, that it is not representative of our governing board administration, and that it specifically says that no person should fear intimidation or persecution from those who have been elected to represent them. I would like to release that statement now that the board has voted to accept Mr. Hayes' resignation. As far as steps going forward for the fulfillment of the seat, I would defer, of course, to you all on how you would like to proceed with that process. The charter does specifically say that in the event of vacancies on the board, that decision rests with the board to make an appointment for the remainder of the term, which is set to expire in November of 25. So any guidance, suggestions, recommendations I would ask for, and I will be glad to make those arrangements.
My suggestion would be to allow citizens who are interested in time to express their interest in the city. That way we can fairly assess at that point, and we're not just, if someone doesn't want to be considered, then they won't say anything. If they want to be considered, they should come up to the board or address the board that they want to be considered. And whatever time frame we put on that is up to the rest of the board, but I would like a time period for them to
town
or
hall.
public work
Yeah.
here. And that's it.
Well, you gotta also look at the last election that we had. There was a list of people in that election that was interested in this job, that did put their, name in the hat and paid a price to do that by, getting out and going through the community and actually getting votes. So, you look at that, there is a group of people that was wanting to be.
You're welcome to put your name in.
Put their name in the hat.
So are we going to issue a call for letters of interest to be sent to town hall and then those names presented to the board for consideration? Is that the recommendation, Mr. Fowler?
My recommendation.
What type of deadline are you guys looking at? Do you want it before the next meeting? Do you want a special meeting between now and August with a swearing in at the August meeting? What would you like to see in regards to a timetable?
I feel like we don't need to rush this thing too fast. I mean, we need to, be sure we pick the right candidate, who's trustworthy, who's fair, who's gonna be able to work the board, on a monthly basis and every day,
I think we give it a month and then we decide in September.
So all letters would need to be in by the August board meeting? Is that the recommendation, Mr. Moore?
We'll make the decision in September. That way we got that whole other month to look at it.
Okay, so we are saying we're going to issue a call for anyone that's interested to submit their name, letter of interest to town hall by, we want to say the Thursday meeting in August, have those names presented to the board for consideration, and then a decision made in September.
Are we gonna interview the individuals or just take a letter? of interest?
However you would like to
I
handle
think we need to interview.
Well, we'll get the letters first and then we'll go from there, okay?
it. Letters by the regular August meeting,
Yeah.
and they can be presented to the board at that time. And if you all want the candidates here to address the board, I can arrange that. And we're going to shoot for a September appointment, or a September swearing in, or a September decision.
Decision. We could probably do both.
Okay.
I don't want to leave her on too far without a full complement of the board.
I would like official action on this. If it's agreeable to the board,
You
yes.
have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we do it, acceptance by letters, and by August, signed by September.
All right, all in favor? Three to none. I think we lost. All right, any other comments? Commissioner? The only comment I have is, I regret that, this action happened from a sitting board member. I hate the fact that anybody can get on the Ranlo chat or any Facebook page and condemn another person's opinion, tell lies about them, distort the truth, try to tear down their character for whatever purpose they choose to do it, if it's political purposes or just a personal purpose. I think it's wrong. Cyberbullying is not good, and I hate that it happened from a sitting commissioner, but it continues to happen. I would encourage everybody, here's my voice, to cut that mess out, and if you can't be positive, don't be at all. Be positive about our town. Be positive about our elected officials. And I would also encourage our elected officials to be positive about our constituents. That's the only thing I have to say. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
And we have a second. All in favor? So carried. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Jim.
Now adjourned.